All right, folks. So we've got two new Jaws related documentaries coming out. Now there's the big Jaws documentary that's dropping with the 50th anniversary. I believe it's a 4K that's coming out where we're going to see some footage we've never seen before. That's already finished. It's going to be included in that new release coming out. But we've got a couple other documentaries that are in the wings here. This one here, The Farmer and the Shark, a unique Jaws documentary premiering this summer. And I'm really interested in this one, guys. If you don't know this about me, Jaws is my favorite film of all time. I absolutely adore it. To me, it is thrilling, suspenseful, dramatic, horrific, and even comedic in certain points. So it kind of has everything. And it's a movie that not only helped me fall in love with film when I was a kid, I think I saw it when I was about 4 or 5, like 86 or 87. It made me fall in love with sharks. Like I started reading about sharks, checking out the National Geographic VHS tapes from the library. This is long before Shark Week ever existed. So I'm really excited for these two documentaries, specifically this first one here, The Farmer and the Shark. And I'll just go ahead and read what we've got here. John Squires wrote the story. It says, celebrating 50 years of the blockbuster classic Jaws, a documentary titled The Farmer and the Shark is on the way from director John Campopiano. He also did Pennywise, The Story of It, Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story. This was first announced on Deadline today, and this particular Jaws-related documentary is taking a very interesting approach, putting the spotlight on the late Martha's Vineyard resident by the name of Craig Kingsbury. The director tells us the farmer piece of our film is the late Craig Kingsbury, who lived a truly remarkable life. We're telling his story within the context of the making of Jaws on Martha's Vineyard in 1974. Craig was Robert Shaw's inspiration for his iconic portrayal of Quint. Craig was originally hired by the production to train Shaw, but because his impact was so greatly felt, Spielberg gave him the on-camera role as doomed fisherman Ben Gardner. So that's a really interesting little piece, that this guy was basically a consultant, like a character consultant, so they could really make sure that, you know, Quint was the salty fisherman that he needed to be for the project. And the documentary focuses on the unique influence Kingsbury had on the film from both behind and in front of the camera. Along the way, we also learn of the many island folks, island locals whose ocean savvy and ingenuity were instrumental in transforming Jaws from a potential failure to the paradigm of the summer blockbuster. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be, you know, conversations with his family members, never before seen interviews with many local and Hollywood tradesmen and artisans who worked on the film. So I'm very intrigued just to get to know a little bit more about Craig Kingsbury. This is like the kind of story that is so cool to see come out. You know, here we are celebrating 50 years of Jaws on June 20th. And just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, just when you thought you knew everything about this movie that's 50 years old and it was the original summer blockbuster, all that kind of stuff, you know, just another layer is peeled back. And I believe I've, you know, heard about Craig before, just sort of in passing. People would mention that, you know, that Robert Shaw did study with an actual fisherman, but it's going to be awesome to see a full-length documentary, spend some time like really, you know, familiarizing the fandom with somebody who had such a, you know, an instrumental part to play in, you know, bringing Quint to life. And it sounds like just, you know, providing a more authentic feel overall. So I think this is really cool. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in checking out The Farmer and the Shark. If you're a Jaws fan, let me know. I can always, you know, talk shop with other Jaws fans. And yeah, let me know what you think about, you know, shining the light on, I don't know, maybe unsung hero is a bit too much, but like shining the light on someone who just hasn't had their day yet. I think it's, I think this is like this is a cool kind of thing that a successful film like Jaws can just continue to do as the years go on. So guys, yeah, let me know in the comments. And then we're going to move on over to this one, which is, I don't know. I'm curious about this one as well, but in a little bit of a different way. Jaws Goes to the Bahamas documentary reveals poster, and the Sharknado director joins the production. So clearly this image here is some sort of AI or something like that. It looks like a blow-up doll in this image. It just doesn't look, it looks odd. But yeah, this is a documentary about Jaws the Revenge. And I would imagine when I first watched the original Jaws, I was 5 when Jaws the Revenge came out. So it was probably because of the advertisements for Jaws the Revenge that my family showed me the original Jaws. I'm guessing. My memory isn't that clear going that far back. And yeah, Jaws the Revenge, guys, it's a total mess. I still think it's better than Jaws 3D. I think Jaws 3D is like painful to watch, and at least Jaws the Revenge is like entertainingly bad, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But let's read a little bit about what Alex DiVincenzo has to say about Jaws Goes to the Bahamas. All right, so Voight Comfort Productions has revealed the poster for Jaws Goes to the Bahamas, a documentary celebrating Jaws the Revenge featuring new interviews with the cast and crew. We've also learned that Sharknado director Anthony C. Ferrante has joined the project as an executive producer and interview subject. Directed by Mike Gencarelli, the doc is aiming for a release in July 2027, marking 40 years since the 1987 film's debut. So we've got some time on this one, but they're putting in the work now. So they're probably going to be putting more work into this documentary than the crew put in on making Jaws the Revenge. So I wouldn't be surprised if the documentary is better than the film. An Indiegogo campaign is underway to help secure funds during pre-production. Perks range from digital and physical copies to producer credits and appearances in the movie. Guys, I'll include a link for the Indiegogo in the description down below if you want to hop on board and contribute to this film's campaign. Directed by Joseph Sargent, the fourth and final Jaws film follows Chief Brody's widow and her marine biologist son to the Bahamas, where they're targeted by a great white shark. Lorraine Gary reprised her role as Ellen Brody, starring alongside Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, Karen Young, and Michael Caine. And there we go. We've got our poster. So that's what that image of the shark comes from. I do like the little, the iced tea boozy drink there. It seems like they're going to be having some fun with this one. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to it because it's 2 years away from being released, but I will watch this when it comes out for sure. And if you guys want me to, we can keep on covering it as more news comes out. But yeah, you can check the link in the description below for the Indiegogo campaign if you want to participate. And jump into the comments. Let me know. What's your favorite and least favorite moment from Jaws the Revenge? Are you a Jaws the Revenge defender? I still think the opening is awesome. I wish the whole movie was in Amity during Christmas. I think that would be so much better than going to the Bahamas, but then we wouldn't have this documentary here. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Jaws the Revenge and on this documentary.